Today we're going to practice solving quadratic systems that contain a linear and quadratic function. Down here from this graphic from Math is Fun, we can see that there are three types of solution. There's no solution if the quadratic and linear do not intersect, one solution if they intersect at one point, and two solutions if the linear equation goes through the quadratic. We are going to be using the OMGmath method to solve these problems. The question says, find the solutions to the system. We're given a linear equation and a quadratic, so that's the first thing that we observe. Our mission is to find the xy coordinate that makes both equations true, and our game plan is to create one equation from the two equations with one variable. Then once we can solve for one variable, we can plug it back in and solve for the other one. In this case, since we have both equations already in the form y equals, the best method to do these would be substitution. So I'm going to take the y from equation 1 and I'm going to substitute it in for the y in the second equation. So when I write the second equation, instead of writing the y, I'm going to leave a parenthesis and I'm going to plug in negative x plus 2 for the y value. And I'm going to set that equal to x squared minus x minus 2. When we're solving a system that contains a quadratic, we should be thinking that the best way to solve when we have a quadratic is to get the equation equal to 0 and solve for x. So to get this equation equal to 0, to get rid of a minus x or a negative x, I'm going to add x to it. Negative x plus x is 0, so those cancel. So then I'm going to add x over here, making sure to line it up with my other x. Then for this 2, to move it over, since it is positive, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. Negative 2 and positive 2 cancel each other out, so this is also 0. So on the left side I'm left with 0. And on the right I have no other x squareds, so I drop down x squared. Negative x plus x cancels out. Negative 2 and negative 2 make negative 4. At this point, I typically would use the quadratic formula. However, since I do not have a b value, I can take x squared minus 4 and just solve for x. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. I get 4 equals x squared, and then to get rid of a square, I square root. So I get 2 equals x. However, do not forget that when you square root, it can be both the positive and negative value. So my x values, I have one x value of 2 and another x value of negative 2. Since I have two x values, when I go to find my y values, I have to plug in both of them to one of the equations to solve for y. Since this equation looks easier to solve, I'm going to plug into this equation. So my y value when x is 2 is going to be y equals, the negative's on the outside so it stays, I plug 2 in a parentheses, plus 2. Distribute the negative, so negative 2 plus 2, so the y value for this one is 0. That means the coordinate point for this is 2, 0. Then I plug in my negative 2, so y equals negative, plug in negative 2 for x plus 2, distribute the negative, negative, negative becomes positive, 2 plus 2 equals 4, so the point here is negative 2, 4. Since we know that we can have two solutions, that means that when I graph this linear equation and this quadratic equation, that it intersected the quadratic 2 times at 2, 0 and negative 2, 4. Since I have found two solutions, I know that I have accomplished my mission and that this problem is finished.
Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. If you want to get better at math, subscribe to my videos here. If you want more information on math, click on my website link here.